try this for like the 5th time. Hey guys, it's Stitching May here with my weekly update. So I've had several failed attempts. Before I went to my brother's house to have family game night, I forgot half the stuff and then the camera cut off in the middle of the video. And just now I was really into the video, had my flow going, and my heat cut on and started suctioning on my craft room door, but not quite enough to close it, just enough for it to make this really weird popping sound like somebody was trying to come through the door but couldn't. So anyway, it is 2 a.m. and I'm making a video. So I don't have a whole lot to show you cross stitch wise. I mean, I do progress wise. It's all cross stitch, but like progress wise. Last week was kind of weird. It was Connor's last week before Thanksgiving. So they were doing like a lot of events with the school. Like they had a Thanksgiving dinner, and then had to put my new car in the shop. My new car, it's new to me car. And just kind of a crazy week. Like I didn't stitch Saturday night, Sunday night, or Monday night, or Thursday night. There were 4 days that I didn't stitch. So I stitched 3 out of 7 days. So anyway, it is what it is. And then I have one piece of haul to show you, and then I have some stuff that I forgot to show you last week on my retreat video. Tonight, well, Friday night, because it's now technically Saturday morning. It's not tomorrow till I go to sleep. Friday night we ended Connor's baseball season with his after season party. And next week we start basketball. So it's going to pick back up. But this week he's out of school and I have nothing going on except for one day I have, of course, Thanksgiving. I'm cooking Thanksgiving for like my husband's family and my family. And we're doing, for the first time, a huge, both family Thanksgiving dinner. So it's at my house. I'm kind of nervous. I may have to have wine. I'm cooking the ham, the turkey, the green bean casserole, the rolls, and the dressing. And some deviled eggs. But my mother-in-law's bringing like 4 things, and then my stepmom's bringing like 2 things, and then my sister's coming over to help me cook. So it'll be okay. It's not all on me, but still, it's kind of nerve-wracking. But I'm really excited too at the same time. So we'll see how that goes. I probably won't stitch on Thursday. But then that's really everything life-wise going on. So I'll just jump into the cross stitch. So the first thing I worked on was my stitch along piece, and I am on the Team Fireball team. And this time, for the first time, they set up teams, and they're like there's individual challenges and there's team challenges. So like the team challenge this week was you had to have your whip with something geeky, sexy, wholesome, dangerous, and expensive. 5 categories. And what our group is doing is like we all submitted pictures, and the team captains will decide which ones they're going to submit to the actual stitch along group. Mine had all 5 categories in one picture, because when I took my car to the dealership and I got the drive out, I took a picture of my whip with my drive out key, because they put me in the flipping Suburban and the car was so expensive. At first they were going to just leave, like work on the car while I was there, and my husband willingly, I had worked all night, and I always had always been cross stitch. I had left my cross stitch in the car that was getting worked on, so he went all the way up to the shop to get my bright pink bag with my cross stitch in it with the rainbow dragonflies so that I could stitch. That was sexy, geeky, because I was going to stitch in the lobby. But that's about the time that they decided that they were going to have to actually replace the part. They ran the code. There was a short in a part, and they could have fixed it, but instead of just fixing it, they decided to replace it. It's not that big of a deal. The car was running fine. It was just thinning warning lights. But, I mean, nothing was the matter with it. It would have been fine, but they just decided to replace the part to where I didn't have to worry about it. That was the wholesome. And the dangerous was the fact that they put me in a Suburban, and it's like a land yacht. I mean, the thing is huge, guys. I'm used to my little like compact SUV, and this thing was massive. So I had all 5 categories. But here is my piece. This again is my Frankenstein piece because I've got 2 different greens and 2 different turquoises. And then the funny thing is, and I did not even catch it until this week when I stitched the I think it's the 5th week, or is it the 6th week? Anyway, like the last part was like left 3 of these, I'm gonna call them petals because I think these are flowers. But like it was supposed to be these and like I stitched these and these, or vice versa. But anyway, I stitched my petals on the wrong spot, just assuming that's where they were gonna go. Thankfully I was correct in my assumption. And then we added some more of these little turquoise bits on the edge. And then this letter that I'm calling an E. I don't know if it is an E, but I'm calling it an E. I still have absolutely no clue what this is gonna be. This border is completely throwing me off. I mean, it could be this way, it could be upside down. Some people have said that it could be like the Stranger Things show and it's just the upside down. I don't know. We will see. Maybe it's an 11? I don't know. We will find out. But there that is. Oops, needle attached. Always. I didn't get to, I worked on this earlier, like the first of the week, because it releases on Saturdays. So, and I'm at work Saturdays. This is my high-tech bag for that piece. And I haven't stitched any today yet. Well, I stitched some this morning, but anyway. The next piece I worked on was my Curly Locks by Silver Creek Samplers. This is what it will look like when it's finished. And the saying is, there once was a girl who had a little curl right in the middle of her forehead. And when she was good, she was very, very good. And when she was bad, she was horrid. My mom always said something similar of this to me. I mean, you know, she didn't quote it exactly, but... And it's got a red-headed girl. I'm stitching this as called for, except that I'm stitching it in a DMC. And then this orangey color is a variegated, and I chose to use DMC 4031. This is what it looked like before I picked it up this rotation. I'm actually kind of excited at some of the progress I got in. This is probably the whip that I got the most progress in this week, and I did more stitching on this. Technically, I went over a day, but you know, I couldn't put it down. And I've had to finagle some because it's modified. Here's where I am now. So this little girl, I moved over and apparently down. I meant to move her over, but not necessarily down. That was probably out of the frame. I moved her over and down. But anyway, I meant to move her over, but not necessarily down. So I don't really know what to do with the border. It's going to be easy to fix because the border is just a straight line and it's going to be so easy to fudge. I've just got to figure out how to fudge it. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to fill out the rest of the letters and then I'll go back and add the border. That way I know for sure I have enough room. But it's not going to be hard to fudge. It's literally going to be getting the letters in and then just stitching the straight line around. But there she is. And I already have somebody that wants this pattern when I'm finished with it. So I'm going to pass the stash when I'm done. This is one that I purchased from McKenna in the attic. I almost bought sequins today at my thrift store, McKenna. Almost. I didn't. Almost did though. They would have fit me, but then I realized there was a hole in the shirt and some of the sequins were missing and I wasn't going to do it. My son was mortified. He's like, oh mama, you don't need sequins. The next piece I worked on was my daisy vase. It's an Imaginating Designs kit. This is what it will look like when it's finished. I am kitting it as charted because it is a kit, except that I changed out this copper metallic for some silver metallic because I like the silver better. And this is where I was before this week's rotation. Hope that didn't move the camera. And then this is where I am now. I stitched on this, well, I chatted on the virtual stitchers. We chatted with EJ from Sunshine Stitchers. And then, of course, Sammy was in there, and Crafty Kim was in there, and then I think Kat jumped in for a little while, and then later on Stasha was on there. So this is where I am now. And this is on, I think, 14 count black Ada. And I just stitched in this little area there. It doesn't look like much, but it is about 120 stitches. It's more than it looks like. And some of that's metallic. And it's on black Ada. I finally figured out where I needed my piece to be for me to be able to see the best. I put like a white light something on my lap so that it shows through. And then I take the light that's bright here and put it even with my project so that it's shining under it. Not up at me, but just under the project. And then I have my little stitchy light on my Lowry's frame shining down on top to where I can see on top too. Because when it's shining up, sometimes it's hard for me to see the top of the fabric. But then when it's shining down, it's hard for me to see the holes in the fabric. So I have to have a light on both. And that seemed to work a lot for me. So that's what I'm doing right now with the black fabric. And this is just gridded with some of that silky sliver stuff. But there's the progress on that one. And then the last one I worked on was my spangled, and I didn't get as much progress done on this as I wanted to. Guys, I'm still absolutely loving this piece. Like, I think I could almost do a monogamous whip for a while on this one, but I keep wanting to stick to the wheel, and I'm enjoying the wheel. But then this one, like, this could be a monogamous piece for me, easily, for a little while. And then I would get tired of it, I'm sure, like I do Starry Night. But again, this is what it will look like when it's finished. I do not have a before picture on this piece because I was horrible and didn't take a picture. And to be honest, there's not enough progress to warrant a before picture. The saying is, home is where your story begins. And it's got, you know, the word home in the roof of the home. I've always loved this saying. When we first bought this house, I found some towels that had the saying on it, and I loved it. Now I'm going to have this framed and in my house somewhere where it says that. And then this is where I currently am. See, it's still on the Q-snap. I didn't want to put it away. All that I finished is I filled out this little, I don't even want to call that a star. It's just a little something. And then I filled out this star here, all of these stitches. It's about 100 stitches. Like, you guys who can do like 600, like Sammy, absolutely amazes me when she tells me like she stitches 400 and 500 stitches at times. Like, I just can't sit down long enough to do that. I'm constantly up and down and doing stuff. And even when I do sit down, I'm scrolling through Facebook, scrolling through Instagram. Connie constantly tells me, that's not stitching. You're not stitching. You're not stitching. But there that is. And that's everything cross stitch wise. Tonight I spun Connor spun for me Dragonfly Fairy. I'm gonna work on that at some point. Depends on when this video gets done. But then we went to my cousin's, or my brother's, anyway, for a family game night, and we had a lot of fun there. So, haul. The only piece of haul that I have is a piece of fabric that I got from Just Add Needles. It is a Stephanie's fabric. She had some of her, Just Add Needles had some of her fabric marked down. I've been looking for a piece for my Fairy Moon. You guys know what Fairy Moon looks like. I couldn't decide on a piece. I kept looking and kept looking and kept looking. And then I saw this one and I asked her some questions about it. And I think I finally found my piece of fabric. This is Hexing. It's a 32 piece Hexing by Hand Dyed Fabrics by Stephanie. I think it's supposed to be a Halloween piece because it's kind of an orangey pink. But it reminds me of like an evening sunset. And I thought that was neat for the moon because like it's like the moon's coming up while the sun's going down. And that's what I chose so far. This has been my favorite piece so far. Who knows? I will probably change it. I mean, I'm not going to start it anytime soon. I'm going to do a floss toss first. And then we'll go from there. But this is a whole half yard of fabric. And I couldn't beat the price because it was on sale in her group. So that was another deciding factor because a half a yard of hand-dyed fabric is pricey, guys. There that is. Let me know what you think. And then that is it for haul. Now, my sister surprised me with a Save the Stitches today. She was at a thrift store and she saw this. And it's not even the same, like, she didn't even mean it as a Save the Stitches, but I kind of like it as a Save the Stitches. It is a manger scene. It's got Joseph and Mary. I'm sure there's a horrible glare with this glass, and I can't see, because I don't know if I've told y'all, but like I don't have a viewfinder. I'm just an old Canon, it's like 7 years old, Canon point and shoot, and the viewfinder's on the opposite side, so I can't see what you see. But this tray screws together here, and then it all comes apart. And then you have this that you can take the glass out, and this kind of oval, or you could do a whole piece. So I can easily use this to put other things into. She originally got it for the tray, because when she saw this in the tray, she was like, hey, you can use that. And I showed it to my brother, who's a woodworker, and I'm going to make him make me some of these if he can. But for Christmas, I'm going to display it like this, because it's got Mary and Joseph and the baby Jesus. And when she took it out looking at it, guys, the back is immaculate on this piece. Immaculate. And there are no initials or a date on it. But I absolutely love this tray, and I'm going to use it for other things. So, figured I can kind of change it out seasonally or whatever. So, on to what I forgot to show you last week. The first thing is I participated in the gift exchange at the retreat. And the gift exchange at the this retreat was a Dirty Santa. You purchased a gift for a certain amount, and then we all had them in a pile, and then like the first person opens a gift, and then the second person can either take the first person's gift or open more for the table, and then there's only certain many times that it can be stolen, etc., etc. It's a lot of fun though, except my gift got stolen. I opened the gift from Marlene, and it had this really pretty like fabric or like project bag in it. It had patterns and just all kind of neat little finishing fabric. It was a beautiful gift, and somebody stole it. So then I decided to get the last gift on the table instead of stealing anything. And the funny thing is that I've gone to 3 of Katrina's retreats. I have participated in the gift exchange twice. 2 times I have come home with, like, the first time I came home with Organic Granny's gift, and then this time I came home with Connie's gift. When Connie told me one thing that she had put in the bag, I almost bought it for myself, and then I ended up with her gift. And I knew that her gift hadn't been opened yet because I didn't see the item that I wanted. But I didn't 100% know that this was the bag. So anyway, I ended up with her gift, and I'm excited. I think I got the best gift. So first of all, it had this little tote bag in it by LJ Fabrics. He has these little tote bags. I've already used this twice. It's hand-dyed tote bag. And then it had a piece of fabric from LJ Fabrics. It is, called Neptune. It's a 28 count Jobelin. Guys, this piece of fabric is beautiful. Look at those colors. Like, and I don't know that this is one that I would have purchased for myself, but now that I see it, I absolutely love it. I think I'm going to do a monochrome, like in some gray, like a tribal, like an ink circles. You know, I don't know. I haven't decided yet. I've got several ideas, but I think some gray stitching on this would be really pretty. I have to label this. I'm going to label later. And then there was this journal, just a little notebook journal, but I think it's pretty. And then it had some floss cards, some Utterly Smooth hand cream, which I absolutely love, a detailer, which I've already used, but I put back in here so I can show you guys, and this thing. Is that throwing? Guys, this thing is amazing. It's a pencil case, as you can see. And I have to make sure I have it the right way. I tried to open earlier and couldn't. So the bottom and the top both open, so that you can put some stuff in it. The really cool thing, you close the bottom and open the top. This folds down and it makes a stand. And you can close this side and you have two little like tool. Like this is perfect for a retreat. How neat is that? It came with these pencils and a highlighter. Not this pen. I added this pen in because I used it at a retreat. You can put your orts in one side or your scissors in one side. It's perfect. I'm trying to see if it shows 2-in-1 function pencil case and pen holder. To be a pencil case, change the pen holder. It doesn't show the name of it. It's got a patent number on it. Patent declaration number, but I don't see a branding. That's amazing. Is there a needle? Oh no, that's one of the little charms. So there that is. And then I got this nifty little bag, a Notions bag. It was made by Jan's Stitching Necessities. It's got this pretty gold fabric on the inside. And it has all kind of notions. It's got a little magnetic needle case. Don't lose anything. These beautiful scissors from Nirvana Needle Arts Company. A needle threader, and it's also got the little blade in it. Some beautiful blue Mill Hill beads. A magnet that is so strong. This magnet is so strong that the snag navit is sticking through cardboard and plastic to this needle, to this binder, to this magnet. And that is crazy strong. It says it's the ultimate craft magnet. Silver pair. Oh, there's two. Oh, there are two. Maybe that's why it's thinking, because there's two in there. And they're designs from Margaret Lee. Ultimate craft magnet. Much stronger than they look. They are rare earth magnets. MargaretLee.com. I mean, that's crazy strong. And then that's it in the Notions. And then my favorite part. The part that I almost purchased. Sorry, put everything back so I don't lose anything. Is this Blackbird's design piece. Book. Sweet Land of Liberty. Blackbird Designs. 5 patriotic cross-stitch projects. Oh my gosh. So it has, I'll flip through real quick. Liberty Rose, which is a bird and a rose. If I stitch this, I'll change the colors because that just doesn't, it doesn't pop to me, but it could just be the picture. It is stitched in graphite, oak, and pink sand by Week Style Works. And there is this piece that I know for sure I will stitch. This is Salute to Abigail. It's stitched in thread gather silks. I'll just do the DMC because it's got the DMC conversion. And then it's got a letter from John Adams to Abigail Adams, July the 3rd, 1776. So it's got information on the tribute too. I love that piece. And then it's got In Full Glory, which is one that Marlene has stitched. She told me that. Oh wait, helps if I show you the picture instead of. Oh goodness. And these two are in Classic Colorworks and General Arts, but it's got a DMC conversion. I can't believe I did that. 5 years, guys, and I still make silly mistakes. An American Eagle. I'm just glad I wasn't holding up the pattern. That'd have been worse, I think. I think that's really pretty too. And then last and certainly not least, I can show it to you without showing any patterns. It's kind of hard to get to. Is Sweet Land of Liberty. And I love the way they finished this. I'll never be able to finish it that way, but you know, I do have a tart and I could put it in. Ooh, maybe I can actually do a tart hand finish. Being that half stitch cross stitch is trying to convince me that I can do a biscorning. Those intimidate me. I can't imagine doing like a tart tin or some kind of fancy finish. All my finishes are framed or wasting away in a box of finishes. And last but not least was my ornament. I could not resist this bow, guys. I mean, look at that. And I do have a picture of my ornament thanks to D Squared. She sent me a picture of my my ornament today. But I couldn't resist this bow. And I opened up the box, and what did I get but the 1.5 stitch cross stitches ornament, which is on my tree. I just remember my son put it on the tree earlier today. So I will insert a picture of the ornament. It's beautiful. It's a, if you watch her videos, you saw it. It's a prairie schooler ornament, and she stitched on both sides. It's a cute little guy carrying his tree, and his dog's following him. On the back, she stitched just a double-sided ornament. On the back, she stitched Happy Holidays, and she made it into a little pillow. And like I said, it's already on the tree because my tree's already up. Yeah, my husband couldn't wait, and I kind of indulged him because I couldn't wait. I don't have a lot of Thanksgiving like decorations because, like I said, I've never done Thanksgiving, and I don't know that my mother-in-law is going to completely relinquish it. I think next year we'll go back to her house, only because I don't know. We'll see. But so I don't have a lot of Thanksgiving like decorations, so we just decorated for Christmas early. That way it's ready for Thanksgiving, right? But that is it for now. Thank you guys, as always, for watching. Thank you for leaving the comments. And if you are in the States and you celebrate Thanksgiving, I want to say happy early Thanksgiving. And I hope you guys have plenty to eat, plenty of dessert, and plenty of time with your family and your loved ones. And if you don't celebrate Thanksgiving, I hope you have an awesome week and plenty of time with your loved ones. As always, guys, happy stitching.